Yasmina Allouche. Yasmina, good to see you. In terms of who's standing for the presidency, is the political space in Algeria so narrow that there isn't a true anti-government or anti-establishment representative in this race?
So the issue with the political sphere within Algeria is the fact that many of the candidates that are chosen to run for the presidency or allowed to run for the presidency are handpicked by the military. As you mentioned in the report, all 5 candidates have a link to the former president Bouteflika or have had positions within his government. So for the Algerian nation, this is a glaring, obvious fact of the fact that they have zero choice in whom exactly they would like to represent them because of the fact that they are handpicked by the military and they serve certain interests that go against them. So this is the fact that this is the reason why they have been, protesting, particularly in the last few months against elections, because they know that the result is already predetermined, and any of those candidates are not part of them, do not represent their interests or their demands, are not from the popular movement.
Can you tell us about these 40 weeks of anti-government protests and just explain a bit of detail about the system that people are unhappy with? They call it le pouvoir, the power, right? This combination of elites who basically rule the country and don't allow the space to expand, as you've been explaining.
So protests have gone on for 42 consecutive weeks. They've happened bi-weekly on Tuesdays and Fridays since February 22nd, initially against Bouteflika's 5th term, and they have carried on without wavering much after his resignation in April. And the reason being is because their fight is against the establishment, le pouvoir, the state, who are the ones who rule Algeria. These are, they rule behind masks of individuals who serve their interests. So, at the time it was Bouteflika, and now it's, the next president will serve exactly the same establishments, which is the reason why protests have carried on. They want a complete overhaul of the current political system, which has been in place since 1962, and they want the reforms that they've been demanding for the last 42 weeks to be actualized. However, it's a known fact that whoever takes the presidency will not be given the scope to be able to actualize those reforms, which is the reason why many have refused to run in the elections, such as popular figures from the popular movement like Mustafa Bouchechi or former Prime Minister Mouloud Hamrouche. Those are figures that people would have faith in representing them, but however, they know exactly how the establishment works and they feel like they would be discredited before they could even be able to enter the process. And so what you have now are elections of 5 individuals who are best placed to represent the military / the state's interests, and they're trying to gouge people to come to vote for them. They're promising reforms, but it's a known fact in Algeria that they will be given little scope to do what's outside of the predetermined conditions that many of Algeria's presidents have had to rule in.
Yasmina, briefly, if you don't mind, what do you see as this threat to not participate in the election? Is it going to be a symbol of individual anger, or is it actually going to be organized to be able to possibly send an overall political message? Look at the turnout. You can see that most people in this country don't care for any of the candidates. Is it more organized or is it more individual?
So as commendable as the 42 weeks of peaceful mobilization has been, the popular movement really now needs to strategize long term, because they've been, since September, they've been protesting against the elections on December 12th, which the military and the state have been adamant to see happen at any cost. Now, what we have to question is exactly what's going to happen after today. It's clear that the mobilization will not stop. It will not abate. It will continue, perhaps with the same fervor and the same passion that we've seen in recent weeks. But Algerians protesting on the streets hasn't really caused many successes in the last few months. Particularly, we still have a prime minister that the Algerians have wanted gone for a very long time, and the same with his government. So we need to question exactly what the strategy is for this popular movement, what exactly steps will be taken to ensure that they maintain pressure on the new president, on the new establishment, or the same establishment with new faces, and what exactly their end goal is. Because at the moment, mass mobilization is only exacting a certain amount of pressure, but it isn't causing the type of demands that they want. And so they need to strategize. They need to select leaders who can negotiate with the military and with the state and with the new president in order for them to continue being able to have some of their demands met.
Yasmina, thank you so much. Yes.